Hey guys, welcome to Frame Chasers. So this is kind of a heads up before we get started here. This is kind of a hybrid video. We actually tore down the 3090 Tough on stream live and we did kind of like a Q&A sesh type of thing. So I would say like the first 20 minutes of this is going to be the teardown portion that we did on stream. I'm just going to clip it on and put it on there. Lots of Warzone secret, FPS secret content on there. And then like the last 5 minutes is going to be like the results because I had to kind of put it on a loop to test the temperatures and kind of let it mine for a bit and all that stuff, right? But that's pretty much what we're going to be doing. So without further ado, enjoy the Q&A and teardown, and I'll see you at the end for the results.
There we go. Yeah. Oh, look at that. How cool is that? See how there's no room? It's like my wife's desk is right. Wait, where am I pointing here? Oh no, this is my streaming desk here. And then my wife's desk is over here. And this is like my gaming area. All right. I should have put like the I shouldn't do that on stream. I shouldn't do that on stream. But I should have put that like the red penis there. That would have been good actually. The main problem with the Bixby water blocks is they just don't come with any instructions. They give you the wrong size thermal pads. So I got like my little baggie of thermal pads right there. I got every size under the moon over there, so it doesn't really matter. But if you do get a Bixby block, you want to make sure you have at least 1 mils and 5 mils. So that you can stack them, you can take care of any size that you might need, etc, etc. But as long as you take your time and do it slowly, you can't do any damage to these things. There we go. See, I want to save these thermal pads too. And yeah. So this looks like a 0.5 mil. Yeah, it is. Okay, so backplate off. Now, time for the good stuff. Time for the complicated stuff. Just solder a third 8-pin. No, you don't have to with this model either. This model has a BIOS switch. Just flash one of the switches with the Kingpin BIOS. You don't have to power mod it. Right? That's why I was thinking about it. I'm like, while I have this thing apart, why don't we power mod it on camera? And then I saw the dual BIOS switch. So whatever. You know what I mean? There's no point in voiding the warranty. Did you guys see what Mooshak posted in the Discord? I'm just getting this thermal pad off in one piece, trying to. Because if I can reuse the capacitor one, that'd be nice. Although now it's probably stretched. Yeah, that's okay. Okay. Check it out, man. They did such a good job with the Tough. They even put thermal pads on the caps, dude. What graphics card do you see thermal pads on the caps? That never happens. Cool. Okay. See, it did stretch a little bit. It's going over the hole. That's okay. Who cares? How do you measure thermal pad thickness without a manual? Well, my good friend Marcel, well, good sir, you do it with your eyes. You eyeball that shit. I didn't say Frame Chasers was professional. I said we get the job done. I don't got no professional tools. Is it possible to achieve over 200 FPS Warzone BDI 3070? Sure it is. I already have a video on that. 250 all day long, man. In 1080p, not 1440p, not with that card. Okay, I don't want to constantly just answer the how many FPS should I be getting questions. That's kind of boring for everybody else. Like, nobody gives a shit about your rig and how much FPS you should be getting. Do you know what I mean? So I'm gonna probably skip most of those questions. Oh, a lot of FPS questions tonight. I'm assuming more and more people like, well, you guys already know that like the hardware content on YouTube doesn't really do any doesn't really do well anymore. The Warzone content does much better. So it's just natural that we're gonna get more Warzone people in here. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to know about hardware anymore. I'm surprised I even have 2 viewers to watch this shit. Do you know what I mean? I had to label the stream Warzone FPS secrets. We're putting a fucking water block on a graphics card, and this is like a Warzone FPS secret. It's just straight clickbait at this point. Because nobody clicks on hardware shit. Do you know what I mean? Nobody clicks on hardware shit. Just label everything. I should just label the stream fucking top 5 Warzone tips. Putting a graphics card, a water block on a graphics card. Do you know what I mean? Christ. This is the state of affairs that we're in nowadays. What is this? Look at these screws. That can't be right. No, I don't see these. Oh, wait. No, these are for the top. Okay. These are for the top. The junction. That makes more sense. These gotta be for the backplate. Okay. And there's no other screws here? Okay, no, there's these ones. And these are for the GPU die. Okay. I should be able to figure this out. Should be able to figure this out. Okay. So what Marcel was asking before, how the hell do you know if if the thermal pad sizes are correct? Just push down on that shit, dude. Just find out. Do you know what I mean? So I can already tell. So okay, let me explain my thought process as I'm go along. So the stock thermal pads here are 2mm on the chokes here, right? Now, when I put the water block on, it fits right into the groove, right? But when I apply pressure, the screw hole, it has a little gap. So I need a little bit less thermal pad. That's pretty much all I do, dude. Literally, just fucking squish that shit and see if it fits. And then if it's too thick, reduce the thermal pad size. If it fits, then proceed. You know what I mean? That's literally all I do. Never had any problems doing that before. Okay, so the ones that come on the card are not really compressible, though. That's the thing. So the ones that they give you are very compressible. So these ones probably are the best option for that. Come to think of it now. Let me get this shit off. And you never want to screw too tightly. You'll bend your PCB and shit. Make sure you actually have the right size of pads. And when you don't get instructions and they don't give you shit. So this is why I also say don't get a Bixby block unless you really know what you're doing. You can just okay, you know what you can do? Go on the EVGA forums and just look at how many people have fried their cards. I'm surprised EVGA warranties that shit, though, to be honest. There are so many people that have fried their EVGA cards trying to install water blocks. And it's because the EK instructions are wrong. The thermal pads everyone gives you is wrong. Okay? So if you don't know what the hell you're doing and you don't double check your work constantly, you're gonna fry your shit. You can't leave your VRMs uncooled. You know what I mean? Gotta check your work. Gotta check your work every time, all the time. So that's what we had a conversation about that the other week, where like all of the big tech tubers keeps talking about shit like, oh, overclocking is dead, everything is maxed out from the factory, blah blah blah. No, not true. Not true at all. It's just a lot harder now than it used to be. It's way harder now to overclock. That's why nobody can do it anymore. How many big streamers have you seen gotten people to overclock their systems and it's just crashed, no FPS gain, dog shit. Just like nobody knows what the fuck they're doing, man. Anyone that's actually like a Warzone gamer has no idea how to overclock. If you haven't been doing this for 10 years, you're not learning it now. It's too late. It's a lost skill. Okay. And it's not that you can't learn it now, it's just that there's no one to teach you anymore. Because it's too hard. And you can't make content on it either. I've been saying that for a while too. There aren't any overclocking specific channels. Even Buildzoid doesn't make guides on how to overclock. He can't. He can't have time for that shit. All you get is like a million questions. And so when you try and answer somebody's question about overclocking, all you get is more questions. You actually don't answer anything because it's just too hard. It's too hard. You can't make content like that. Okay. Let's see if this fits. Try the 6s first, man, if you already have them. There's no harm in trying them. What thermal pads are used? These white ones are just Amazon dog shit pads. You don't need good pads for VRMs and chokes, only for the memory modules. There we go. That's it. That did it. There. So, okay. So, final verdict here. That did it. So it looks like I'm gonna have to still use 1mm pads on the memory, but at least we dropped it by a millimeter. Okay, so final verdict then. I used 0.5, sorry, yeah, 0.5mm on the chokes, 1mm on the VRMs, and I think I'm gonna have to go 1mm on the memory chips here. See, man, it takes a long time to do this shit properly. It takes a damn long time. And look at all this garbage I have all over my desk now. How am I gonna play Warzone? Yeah, no problem, What Deno. I know, dude. I just had an argument today with somebody in the Discord over giving advice on things that they haven't personally tested themselves. I don't know why people do that shit. It drives me fucking crazy, dude. I get irate when people do that shit. Yeah, I've never tested it myself, but I read an article on Reddit and it seems to support my theory, and then like provides all this data that god fucking damn it, dude. That has to be the most beta fucking behavior I have ever seen in my entire life. I haven't tested it, but I saw an article once, and the article said that this was true, so it must be correct because the article on Reddit said so. Like, holy fucking Christ, dude. Get out of my Discord. Get out. You do not belong here. Yeah, we're going with 1mm. 1mm is the winner. And I have indents in the pad. Yeah, 1mm. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, we're getting somewhere, boys. We're getting somewhere. We are getting somewhere, boys. Yes. Progress is being made. Okay, do I got any 1mm? Fuji's. 0.5. 1mm. No, those are the ones that are already done. 1mm. I got a fresh 1mm right here. I'm running out. I'm running out of the Fuji's here. I want to use the best pads that I can, obviously, for the memory chips. You get to overclock higher, the cooler they are, right? Also, you get to mine with more hash rate, the cooler they are. You can crank that slider up, right? So you definitely want to use the good shit on the memory ICs here. But yeah, I can't. Too bad I couldn't take those old ones apart because I stacked 2 1mm together. Some chill ass music. Holy shit. I'm digging this station. It's impossible. You cannot. It's too complicated, dude. Even like You know what's odd? Overclocking can literally be like a university or college course. It can be. It could be like a semester of content, dude. Like learning what each voltage is, learning how each voltage affects the CPU, learning what each voltage does, where in the CPU it is, how that affects temperatures, how it affects your overclock ability, which ones relate to each other. If you overclock this one, how does it affect the other one? Dude, that's literally a university course. You cannot teach people that in like a one, like you can't. That's like a $40,000 course, dude. You can't. It's impossible. That's why nobody does it. It's fucking impossible, dude. It's a hobby. There's a reason I'm not a professor, dude. Trying to teach people shit? Fuck that. It's because, you know why? This might sound... I'll tell you why. I can't relate to people that can't figure shit out quickly. And I don't know how. Because I've never been in that situation before. So... growing up all through my life, things came very easily to me. And I know they did. I never, like, if I failed at something once, I would never fail at it ever again. I figured it out. I learn quick. If I do something wrong, I don't make the same mistake twice, ever. You know what I mean? So when I'm trying to help somebody with something, and I see them make the same mistake 10 times, and I know there are people like that. Some people literally have to make the same mistake 100 times before their brains figure it out. But I don't know how to teach that person. I just get frustrated. You know what I mean? I don't know how. It's the same thing with Warzone and playing games and stuff. If my teammate makes the same mistake like 100 times in a row, I get fucking irate, dude. Like, stop. Like, how many times does your brain have to fucking fail before you figure it out? But that's why I cannot be an educator, because I'm not patient enough for that shit. Like, if I read something online and I test it for myself, I figure it out in the first shot. I'm like, oh, that worked, that didn't work. Like, I get it. You know what I mean? I just have a brain that works that way. I only have to try it once. I'm done. Okay, let's see if this works here. Cannot be an educator, dude. I do not have the patience to be an educator. Those people are saints, dude. Educators, teachers, professors, they need to get paid way more money than they do. And you don't really realize it when you're a kid learning, or like even if you're in college and shit, dude. I remember how many times my professors would have to repeat shit. And just over and over repeating or trying. It's like a Rubik's Cube. Like the human brain is like a Rubik's Cube, right? So if this person's Rubik's Cube understands something in a certain way, that's why I use Paint on Twitch. Some people need to visualize it, right? So even just learning different education methods to make it click in people's brains, like fuck that shit, dude. I'd rather just do a consult. Let me do it for you in 10 fucking minutes, and we're both happy. Go play a damn game. Don't ask me questions. I don't have time for that shit. You know what I mean? If you make the same mistake in Warzone 10 times, I'm gonna cut you because I don't have time to fucking teach you how to not make a mistake. Same with Overwatch. Same with any fucking game, dude. Figure it out. And then people will be like, what am I doing wrong? I'm like, this is what you're doing wrong. And then they'll just do the same fucking mistake over and over. I don't know, man. I can't do it. Can't. No, I never could, though. I was always like that. Even as a kid, I was always like that. Very impatient with people's progress. I remember playing Overwatch with this one guy, a buddy of mine, an IRL buddy. He was playing Orisa. Dude, I'll never fucking forget this. This was the moment I knew I could never have teammates. He was playing Orisa. and Arissa has a suction bubble, right? Her right click. And I told the guy, I'm like, dude, all you have to do with Arissa is put the bubble maybe 10 millimeters above the enemy barrier to pull them up. And he shot the bubble directly into the enemy barrier maybe 10 times. I'm like, dude, what part of above the barrier do you not understand? He's like, I'm trying my best. I'm like, the fuck? Like, and then I understand that he's trying his best, but I'm like, how on God's green earth can I word this differently other than point it above the guy's fucking barrier? And he just he could not grasp it, dude. Like, humans are such strange creatures. Somebody tells me to fucking point something above a barrier, I'm like, okay, just point it above the fucking barrier. It's weird, dude. How long we've been streaming for here? This is how long this shit takes. It takes a long time. And you know what I'm also going to do? So I'm gonna like finish this up, blah 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 blah. But what I'm going to be doing off camera, I'm gonna take the entire thing apart after. And the reason why you have to do that before you turn it on, you have to make sure that all the thermal pads made contact after it's all been clamped down. The only way you can do that is if you take the whole thing apart again. And it's like you don't want to. You're like, man, I just want to fire this thing up and run some benchmarks or whatever. It's like, no, just take it all apart again to make sure that all those thermal pads made contact. Just an extra hour of your time is worth $2,500. Just do it. You know what I mean? Better safe than sorry. So eyeballing it gets you half the way. Assembling the entire thing, taking it all apart again, guarantees that all those pads made contact, right? Don't ruin your shit. Take your time. There's no rush. People like to rush shit, but there's no rush. You got lots of time. They're bundling garbage with the... Oh, yeah, dude. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. You know how many Newegg bundles I've bought and that have come with just trash? It's... I said this before, and I will say it again. There's nothing we can do about it right now. Because it's a seller's market. They can literally... They can put dog shit on a plate, and you have to buy it. It won't always be that way. Won't. Remember. One day, it'll be a buyer's market again, and we'll have the power again. You remember who did that shit to you. You fucking remember. You will never catch me buy anything from Newegg ever again. When this is all over, dude, never. Best Buy and Amazon have my business for life. Newegg, I won't even spend a fucking penny there, dude. Never again. For all the shit that they're pulling now in this pandemic time. Just remember, just remember that shit. You as the buyer have all the power because it's your wallet and you're the one spending the money. They need you. Right now, they don't need you. One day they will. And they're gonna regret doing all this fucking crazy shit. Although I am a fan of the Newegg Shuffle a little bit. There's not much else they could have done in that situation. But the bundles that they're doing with it are unacceptable. If you want to do a shuffle, just shuffle the goddamn GPU. Don't shovel a fucking... Don't like shuffle a lawnmower and a refrigerator with it. Did Rems make that joke? Fucking you want that refrigerator with your fucking graphics card? Like, give me a break. Okay. You see how many extra screws we have at the end here that I didn't use? So let's tighten this down. And I think we're done, boys. We're done, bud. Oh, I missed one. I might even get to play some Warzone after all here. I'm not gonna like clean my table up. I'll just shove everything over to the side so we can just play some games. Thanks for sticking around though, guys. This is kind of my first Install. Oh, I didn't do the top part. Fuck. Well, that'll take 2. Let's do the top part quickly. I didn't even remember that. Hang on. Gotta zigzag these 2. And you can tell you should zigzag them because when you get to the other side, it's looser again. So you kind of know you're doing it properly. Don't want to do it too tight though. These are really thin screws. You can strip these easily. Just hand tight. Hand tight. That's all. See if it's making contact. Perfect. Oh yeah. Fantastic. This is good. I think I nailed it. I'll have to take it apart after, but everything looks to be making good contact everywhere. Everywhere. Okay, tight. Tight. Done. That's it. Ah. Done. Okay. Any questions on this thing before we move on to some games? Any angles or anything? There's 2 RGB lines, so I'm assuming, yeah, this backside RGB's up too. I don't really care about that though. You know what I might have to do to make it fit in my case? I might have to cut half of this bracket off and move it forward. So I get it, like cut half the bracket off, move it forward, and then maybe drill 2 holes in the end here to kind of push the entire card forward, maybe a few millimeters. Sweet. This looks so, dude, this was $170. That's the goat shit right there. Okay, so I set up a little kind of all-in-one here so we can see this thing in action. You can see it going through here. So what happens here is it comes out the port into the in port. It goes through the block, and then instead of coming out, you see how there's a tube that joins them together, and then it goes through the back here, right, all the way through the back and then out here. So that's why you gotta attach this part last, because this kind of attaches both sides together. So that's pretty much it. Let's get this thing mining and check the temperatures. Okay, so we're all set up here. We've been mining for 1 hour and 41 minutes here, and our junction temperature is 54 Celsius. That is actually insane. That's I've never seen it that low before on the internet, but like that's wow. Not only that, actually check this out too. We maxed out the slider. So I got an extra plus 400 on the memory speed. 0 rejected shares. And we're mining at 130 hash on this 3090 now. So this is completely next level. I did like this performed so far beyond my expectations. Like, wow. So actually, I would say if you already have a water block without the backplate, just get an MP5 works, because that actually got 70 Celsius on my rig upstairs, and the memory slider's maxed out on that as well. But if you don't have a water block yet, you can't beat that. It's 170 bucks. How do they even make the... How do they even get the copper for that cheap? It doesn't make any sense. But that's it. Anyway, guys, I actually had a ton of fun doing like a teardown on stream. We might do some more stuff like that in the future. Maybe maybe here. Maybe I'll set this camera up as like a top down or something. We can do some builds down here, stream down here. I got the room for it down here, right? But other than that, it was a lot of fun. So if you like the content, hit that subscribe button. Do all that YouTube SEO stuff. Like, share, subscribe. Comment down below if you have any questions on this big ski thing. And I'll see you in the next one. Talk to you later.